Alrighty, fellas, good morning. Yo, what's up? My name is Patrouski. Welcome back to the PokeMMO stream recap, your daily source of tips, tricks, information, and what's happening inside the PokeMMO community. We do have a fair bit of updates today to go ahead and go over. Let's just jump into it. This will be a very chill, casual Saturday stream. We do have a catch event today, but that is mostly for the Iron Man progress, right? Let's jump into it. Okay, first things first, insanely big news. Look at the scores. I hopped on the main account today and I saw Mr. Team Chat being like, it's 100 points. It's a 100 point difference. Shiny War is coming down to the freaking wire, dude. There is 5 days left. It's been a 1 month long tournament and now it's coming down to 5 days. And this is the shortest lead Field Team 7 has had. I don't know if ETG was like holding eggs or like doing so, like trying to like, dude, it's so based. I'm really excited. I don't know if they were like, they purposely like held fossils or some shit. This is like, was their strategy all along? I don't know, but it's exciting. It's exciting, dude. It is coming down to the final 5 days, down to the wire. Shiny Wars is anybody's game. I'm wishing luck to ETG. I want to see Field Team 7 win, but I want to see it be a close war, and shout out to them for making it a close fight, dude. Team Moon, QH falling behind a little bit. Team Moon getting up there as well. Cool to see. The top 5 has been pretty like similar throughout most of the event. Essence just hit Piplup like just now. Also, how many egg shinies is that for Essence? Doesn't he already have like 3 or 4? That's insane. Anyways, I know he has like some of the most points in War, right? People are going crazy for Shiny War this year. It's been beautiful to see. All right, so Shiny War is huge. What's next? What else is there? Okay, well, there's also PvP movements. PvP movements happen every single month if you aren't aware. So at the end of what also seems like, was this the end of a season recently? End of season. Well, was this the end of a season? I didn't even think about that. Season ends usually happen every 3 months or so. I don't know if this is an actual, I have to go check. Matchmaking sign up or personal stats. I think it might have been. Yeah, this was the end of a season because my my PvP stats changed. Yeah, so this was the official. Yeah, season just ended. Gotcha. It came to the end. Gotcha. Okay. So every 3 months, PvP has so many different timers. Every 2 weeks, right? Your matchmaking sign-up rewards change. So you have a 2-week thing there. And you also have every month, there's PvP like tier changes. And then every 3 months, there's a season end, which resets like your win-loss ratio and your leaderboard stuff and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that go into it. But end of season, 4.7 to go up, that means that something needs 4.75% usage rate to in the above tier to move up, if that makes sense. And then 3.75 to go down. That means if a Pokemon is 3.75% usage or lower, it will go down a tier. Okay, so we do have some changes. Number 1, Darmanitan down to UU from OU. Nothing up to OU. Darmanitan down to UU. This is a powerful offensive Pokemon which struggles sometimes to keep up in OU. Whenever it drops a U, it's generally very powerful. Same with Empoleon. These are Mons. All 3 of these Mons are typical Mons that drop up to or go up to you and down. They kind of ping pong back and forth a fair bit. It's very normal. But it's always interesting to see when they drop because it's important to get that powerful usage in if you're a UU player, right? Next up, 2 UU from NU. This is surprising to me. Cinccino, I know, has like some they have some sort of like loaded die skill link strategy with like Bullet Seed or Tail Slap or certain moves. So I think that's usually what Cinccino is doing. I'm not familiar enough with that Pokemon. Down to NU from UU. Jolteon and Rotom has been in NU a lot in the past. Usually very powerful Pokemon in NU, but not broken from my personal experience, which has been limited over the past few years. Jolteon, I feel like Jolteon needs to be an NU to get any sort of usage. The Pokemon, man, what a fall from grace. Used to be one of the most competitive, most crucial Pokemon in all of PokeMMO PvP, like in OU and stuff. And man, has it changed so much and dropped so much, and it's just so crazy. All right, continuing on. That's the PvP changes. Next up, we do have catch events. We have a catch event today. Saturday the 2nd of August. This happens in about an hour and a half. I will be participating in this. There's a chance to win no shiny prize, but a 6x31 starter Pokemon on the Iron Man account and some free RP. Doing catch events right now to win some RP is the best time because event season's coming up. You want to win your free RP now and then have it for those limited vanities or any new RP items. Okay. Starly catch event as well, 11 a.m. ET. That's basically 6 a.m. for gamers, dude. I know, very, very early. Difficult to make that one. That is Sunday the 3rd of August, aka if you're watching the stream recap, probably today, hopefully, or maybe it's already passed. I'll have to double check the date. This does have a shiny prize, shiny Starly, and 1,000 RP. And then next up, dude, I swear the devs made this to fuck with me, or the staff did, and I hope they did. I bet you it's most likely just a coincidence. But I just ranted about One Piece for like 2 hours yesterday. Now, One Piece fans, don't get mad. I love and respect One Piece, okay? I don't even like hate One Piece. I personally couldn't get into it, but I love what it's done for anime. I love what it's done for the genre, and I respect One Piece fans, okay? Don't start hating on me in the comments. I do have certain qualms with certain arguments you'll see from One Piece fans. Like, you know, let's come to live stream if you want to hear the rants. That's what I'll say. But this is Mankey D. Luffy. Mankey D. Luffy, an amazing upcoming catch event on Friday, the 8th of August, 2 p.m. ET, 8th of August. Mankey, Jigglypuff, Pidgey, Sandshrew, Charmander, Spearow. Here's the nature bonuses, and then here is the prize breakdown. There is a shiny prize. Dude, imagine getting a shiny raid Primeape right before the Darkrai raid comes back for the Halloween event. I'm just saying, I feel like that's cinema. That feels amazing. Try to go win that yourself. It's irrelevant. Primeape is meta against Darkrai because it has Vital Spirit, so it can't be put to sleep with his little Dream move or whatever. You get off big fighting type damage against a Dark type. So I'm excited to hopefully try to go for this. 1,000 RP, free RP right now. It's the best time to go for it. That is all of our daily news covered in PokeMMO. If you guys like this style of video, the style of daily news, tips, etc., make sure to like the videos, guys. It really does help out a lot. Subscribe. Check out links in the description. Factor if you want to get 50% off of some food. If you have a busy schedule coming up, holidays coming up, Factor takes care of your nutrition. You save time to the grocery store, save time on dishes. I love Factor. Even when I wasn't sponsored by them, we would use Factor, me and my wife occasionally. So check it out. Link in the description. It's a good product, right? Discord down below. Like the video if you want to. Subscribe. Follow me on Twitch. All that jazz. Let's just jump into it. Let's play some PokeMMO. That's what we're here to do, fellas. Have some fun and grind away. Good luck on all your grinds today. Someone asked, what's better for XP trading, XP Reamplifier, or XP shares? Good question. It kind of depends, but generally XP Reamplifier. It comes down to the distribution. So the way it works is that when you use XP Reamplifier, the lead Pokemon in the party gets 25% of the XP, and then 75% is split with the rest of your party. But with XP shares, it's 50-50. So if your lead mom when your XP trading is level 100, like a lot of people are, you waste 50% of your XP when XP trading with XP shares, which is brutal, but it's a lot of times what you kind of just gotta do and kind of just get over it. I actually have videos covering like passive money making in PokeMMO. It's all about like preparing discharge mons or a bunch of, you know, lower level mons to passively level up as your lead slot. While you do that, you can mix some passive Pokeyen with that. Galvantulas, Pikachus, etc. Jolteons, any electric type that's cheap with discharge. But generally, with XP Reamplifier, you're only wasting like 25%, and then 75% goes to the party, which is generally the main benefit. It's quite good. It used to not be as worth it, but it got buffed at some point, and that distribution difference, it's crazy how much that helps, because you're basically gaining like 25% more XP, which is a massive benefit. So I think XP Reamplifier is an endgame item that everybody should shoot for. But it's also not one that I would rush because they're so expensive. That's the unfortunate factor. Like, they cost 1,000 RP, which, to be fair, is much cheaper than it used to be. Right now, it's actually pretty cheap to get an XP Reamplifier. That brings me into a whole different discussion. And people asked, I had a lot of comments recently. I recently in a stream recap said, hey, like, don't invest in anything right now. And I had a few comments, people being like, hey, you know, I respect what you're saying, but I've been investing in a bunch of raid Pokemon or preparing good IV Pokemon. And they're right. That is the stipulation. When I said don't invest in anything, I meant like sealed product or like, you know, items, but I didn't clarify that or say that. That was a mistake on my end, right? So apologies. When I say don't invest in anything, I mean like sealed product or, you know, typical investments. Pokemon, good IV mons, stuff like that is huge. Stuff like that is big. When Pokemon are cheap, good IV mons are cheap. Right now is the time to build them. If you don't have raid Pokemon prepped right now, not only are you wasting time trying to prep raid Pokemon during the Halloween events, you're also going to be spending a lot more Pokeyen. I always tell the story of, I think it was 2022 Halloween or 2023. There was some massive Halloween event where the game had grown a ton, where simple 2x31 Chandelures with modest nature, usually a Pokemon worth around, I want to say 130, 150k, was worth 800k to 1.2 mil. The supply of good IV Litwicks and Chandelures, and that could not keep up. People needed Chandelure for the Pumpkin boss, and people were willing to pay a lot to get access to it, to grind, to make more Pokeyen per hour, right? So that was a massive factor. If you don't have good IV Mons, get your Mons now. Breed those Mons now for sure. And then things like RP is pretty cheap if you want to. People asked me recently, you know, is RP a good investment prior to events? RP is the biggest coin flip heading into events. I will say it's like very not guaranteed. It could go down in price, could go up. I will say the cheapest I've seen RP ever cost in the history of PokeMMO is around 2 mil. So we are at about that bottom out mark that we've ever seen historically, but like something new history could always change. So historically, we've never seen it below 2 mil. I don't think. It's not a very long time, but we'll see how it plays out. So yeah, it's a lot of tips and tricks to keep in mind. Event season is a massive deal in Pokemon, and it lasts for a very long time. It warps the way we play the game. Okay, this is one player in Shiny War. Thank you for sharing this story, Jonathan Spence. So, official Egil, a really nice guy on our team, is currently the #1 MVP in Shiny Wars, and currently has caught slash hatched in Shiny War a shiny Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, TREECKO, Eevee, and Zigzagoon. Dude, it's hard for me to wrap my brain around it. It took me 17 months to go for one rare shiny. This guy has, and it's not that he's like getting super lucky. He's putting in the hours and getting the encounters. He's gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rares in 3 weeks. The average player, it takes about 1 to 2 years to get an egg shiny. That is insane. Congratulations to him. That is insane. What a legendary story, man. Massive congrats. Yeah, we're talking about the market in Pokemon and how it's kind of in like Epoch said, kind of in a Great Depression. It's like pretty rough. Like the IVs of Pokemon and the good IV Mons are just going down and down and down in price. Now there are still positives you can do in that market. Like please build all of your good IV Mons, like we talked about. Now you can still take advantage of any kind of market. But someone asked, not only that, Pat, what do you think about the rise of Ditto prices? Aren't the last Ditto catching nerfs biting back because of how incubators are affecting the market? The real answer is I don't know yet. Because the devs released incubators alongside Shiny Wars, it's impossible to tell how much incubators are affecting the market and how much Shiny Wars is, right? I don't know. So it's hard to tell how much. I don't know. We don't know. We have to wait more months to see what Ditto prices come to. And Shido prices, the problem is Shido prices can really be whatever. Shido's being expensive is mostly fine. And because of incubators, but people are going to be consuming them way more. The supply is going to dwindle faster. People are going to consume them way too much, right? Shidos can be whatever, and it's mostly healthy, okay? Shidos could literally be 10k, and I could argue that's still healthy. Rare shunts are really expensive, but it's still like arguably healthy. They don't really need to be a price. The problem comes when good IV Dittos are the same price as Shidos. This is what is actually batshit. Is that 1 times 31 Dittos are the same price as Shidos. When good IV Mons are literally the same price as not good IV Mons, that is insanely scary. We were expecting, I expected an alpha nerf last year. If we don't get an alpha nerf this event season, I don't know how long the Pokemon market lasts and how long it's taken like seriously. It's rough. Things aren't holding value. People can't build up wealth and build up Pokemon with. They have to buy items or invest or just grind. Just do pure grinding. This is a great question. Hey, Pat, have you ever seen the economy in the game look like this before? Is this a new thing? The last time I saw it this bad and Pokemon worth this little was back in like 2014, 2015 when they were making the breeding changes, right? They had to make monstrous shit. This was back before breeding consumed Pokemon. The last time I saw it this bad was prior to breeding consuming Pokemon, which is insane. That alphas have pretty much added the same demand as breeding not consuming mon. It's like so wild. Or added as much supply. Sorry, not demand. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. And the game, the closest I've ever seen the game to dying was in that 2016 era. Or 2014, 2016, where the economy was really rough. And then they kind of fixed it, but then they also, the problem was they fixed the economy with breeding, but then they also added, they changed the way breeding worked, and people didn't like that. And that was a tough thing for a lot of us to stomach. Myself, I was very stubborn and really didn't like the breeding changes, but now I consider them to be genius, right? And there was also the physical special split. You can't sleep on that. Made a lot of people quit. There's a lot of good changes in PokeMMO that have happened that made players quit, which is why I've always respected the devs. The PokeMMO devs are willing to make like short-term changes that hurt the player base in the short term but help the long term. And I feel like this past 1 or 2 years is the first time I've ever seen them make decisions to benefit them in the short term but hurt the long term. And that's what but I feel like I've seen them change philosophies. And that's a little disappointing to me as an MMO player. All right, the catch event has officially begun. I don't even have it. That was my first encounter. I was trying to find myself a Pikachu but could not. That's okay. It's a pretty rare spawn, so it makes total sense. I'm going to go ahead and just nest ball here. I will be just encountering. I'll be catching so many Pokemon throughout this event. It is straight up just encounter Pokemon, synchronize, and then nest ball everything. Or nest ball any Rattatas and Pidgeys, to be fair. Not everything can be caught for the event. Like no hoot stuff like that. What? Okay, well, I gotta calm down. That's an insane first catch. It's not a catch event. Oh, winning, but I got too excited. That's the best first catch we've seen. I got too excited. It's a minus, so it's 147 minus 3, 144 plus 3. It's only a 147. Fuck, I got way too excited for that, but that was a sick catch. That was the, oh man, still a sick catch. That literally, like, that might be the best catch of the whole event. Like that was crazy. That was sorry for the overreaction, but it had me fucking hyped up, man. What can I say? Okay, we keep going. This will be a fun event, I'm sure of it. I'm actually curious. I'll put it on recording. I bet you guys, I love that a lot of newer players asking, should you catch Pidgey and Rattatas here because they're minus points? Yeah, they're minus a few points, but it's way more dice rolls, right? And usually going for more dice rolls is better. Catching most, if not all, mons at a catch event is generally the strat, but sometimes you want to catch or not catch certain ones because like they're too difficult to catch. That's honestly the bigger. Just getting as many catches as possible is generally the best strat. I would go as far as to say I bet you that in the top 3 mons, there will be more Pidgeys and Rattatas than Pikachu. Maybe first place will be a Pikachu or something like that, but even that's... Someone might get one lucky good catch. You just get so few Pikachus here. I would bet you that at least 2 out of 3 of the top 3 entries are Pidgeys and Rattatas, and maybe only 1 Pikachu in the top 3, and maybe we'll see. And I would love to, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I would love, I will learn today. Okay. Speaking of the devil, there he is. That's our first Pikachu encounter. Let's go ahead and we should be able to just nest ball, I believe. You might need to like do a different strat for this, but let's see if it breaks out. You might only get 1 Pikachu or a few Pikachus an hour here. It's gonna be very, very few per hour. We're 9 minutes in. I think, was it 3 per hour? 3 or 4? Yeah, not good stats. Very, very few dice rolls on the Pikachu, even though it's a plus 10 species bonus, which is huge. Yo, someone said in global chat, the 176 rat just dropped. Holy, what? Not only did the 176 rat drop, and it is true, I checked the catch date. This is correct. This is during this event. It's also a perfect Typhlosion breeder. What a beautiful field A group special attacking. Timid, 31 Spatak, 31. The fact that the placements, dude. The fact that it's 31 Spatak, 31 speed is ridiculous. Not only does he probably win the catch event with this catch, he also probably sells it for, well, to be fair, given the current Pokemon IV market, I bet this is like 30k, which is really, dude, this should be worth like so much. This would historically be like a 150k, 120k or whatever breeder. Yeah, people, but still, you can always, but you just breed it up. But you're not wrong. But it's like, it's a little more awkward. But how much is this worth? Let's go check. Historically, this would be something that you ignore the attack IV, but historically, this would be worth like so much money. Like hundreds of thousands of Pokeyen. Let's go check. Nature, timid. The timid nature matters. Let's see. Better than I expected. I mean, but this one has 3 times 31 just weaved in because nobody. Damn. It's better than I expected. I was expecting like 40k, which is really sad. At least it's like 83k. but historically it's like a 150k breeder. It's like half the price. I think it's a great way to put it. A lot of good IV mons have become half the price of what they used to be. Dude, hell yeah. Also, the winner is in chat, and he's been here before the event even started. He's been hanging around chatting. Congratulations, Yellow Crane, dude. He said, yo, that's mine. What should I get? You either want... Okay. The question becomes, do you have a raid Charizard? If you don't, definitely go Charizard. I think Charizard is like by far the better answer. You will need to buy an ability patch, but they've gotten cheaper, thankfully. If you don't have... Also, 3x0. If you don't have... a raid Charizard, definitely get the Charizard. Like, it's not even close. Raid Charizard's the most useful Pokemon of the 3 starters for PVM purposes. If you don't have a raid Charizard, you could do a Blastoise with Water Spout. Make sure you get the Egg move Water Spout. The main things are Water Spout, Blastoise for gym reruns, Charizard for raids, and then you could go Venusaur for PvP if you want to, but I'm not familiar enough without the set for Venusaur in PvP. I don't know if you go Timid or Modest right now or what people go. But or even Bold, and I have no idea. You have to check PvP stats for Venusaur. I can't help you on Venusaur. But with Charizard, you go 6x31, and you want Modest Nature. You want plus damage. And then for Blastoise, you want Modest as well, plus damage. Or if you want to go PvP, you do a different set, but... you do plus damage Modest, and just make sure you get the Egg move of Water Spout. That's an insane... Congratulations to the viewer, man. That's so sick. Wait, someone just typed IVs in chat, like 1-1-1, you know, 0, whatever, to like share what IVs Amon had. And it reminded me of how that, yeah, this is a back in my day boomer PokeMMO story. You used to not be able... People don't realize like how many things that we use nowadays weren't always in the game and we take for granted, right? Now we can just link our Pokemon. We can just drag our Pokemon down to the box and go send it in chat, right? You used to not do that. You used to have to, in trade chat, could you imagine reading trade chat? Trade chat used to be selling, catching Smeargle, Lonely Nature, IVs 19-29-22-X because it's irrelevant -29-31. Like, it was fucking crazy. Like, you'd have to list out every singular IV for every Pokemon and try to... You couldn't link them on and try to just sell Pokemon fully via text. It used to be way more, and that was the same thing with shops. If you go watch or look at like forum shops, I think it's probably still done the same way. But yeah, it used to be way harder to sell Pokemon because you'd have to just like visually look at the text and know where the IVs are placed and stuff like that. Here, for those who don't know the math on these, this is like really important math to know in Pokemon. My personal opinion is the odds of encountering each X31 Pokemon in the wild. There was a big like write-up done on it a while ago, and I have a video on my channel called the odds of encountering a 6x31 Pokemon in PokeMMO. I'll link it in chat as well. Now, not only does this video cover the odds of catching a 6x31 Pokemon, but it's also the odds of catching a 1x31, 2x31, 3x, etc. And all of which are very, very relevant for, you know, understanding math and odds in PokeMMO, as well as how crazy alphas are, right? So we'll get into it. A 1x31 Pokemon is about a 1 in 6. I'm going to do rough numbers, not exact seeds. It's about 1 in 6, okay? A 2x31 Pokemon is roughly 1 in 78 encounters. That's what you get guaranteed as an alpha, okay? 1 in 78. That's about an hour and a half of catching Pokemon generally, right? But what's crazier is when you have those guaranteed... People, you know, 2x31 guaranteed is you know, something. But what's crazier is when you have the one guaranteed, the next IV becomes that much easier. So a 3x31 alpha is the same odds as a 1x31 normal wild Pokemon. So that means a 3x31 alpha is actually a 1 in 6. And then, okay, a 4x wild Pokemon, these are like good numbers to know. A 4x wild Pokemon is a 1 in 74,488 chance. 1 in almost 75k for a wild 4x31. However, a 4x31 alpha is the same odds as a 2x31, aka 1 in 78. I think that is the crazier, like the way crazier. When you take a 4x31 from a 1 in 75k to 1 in 78, and obviously you only get 3 alpha catches per day. Don't get me wrong, it's way less catches, but it still is just, in my opinion, it's crazy. It makes those the odds of wild 4x31 Pokemon existing dramatically increased to such an insane degree. But back to the natural stats. 3 times 31 is around a 1 in 1800. I would say that's on average the rarest catch you'll see for most players. Some players, like myself, I've caught a 4 times 31. That's the rarest I've ever seen. 1 in 74,488. And then a 5 times 31. A wild 5 times 31, no stats guaranteed, so no alpha, no legendary, etc., you know, other things like that, is 1 in 5,772,806 Pokemon encounters or catches. A 6 times 31, the fun one, the crazy one, is 1 in 1,073,000,000, and some other numbers that aren't even, you know, really worth saying at that point. It's over 1 in a billion. So some good fun fact math to know. Dude, shout out and congrats to SmokeMMO, fellow PokeMMO Twitch streamer over on Twitch. SmokeMMO, so it's just SMOKE and then MMO. Really easy to find his channel. Got a wild shiny TREECKO in Petalburg Woods live on stream right now, dude. Massive congrats to him. That is so fucking sick. It's a beautiful thing to see live. Beautiful thing to have that logged forever. Dude, massive congrats. That's so sick, dude. Huge congrats to him. How many encounters was he at? 16K or so? Massive congrats. Okay, chat was saying, yo, Patrouski, check out the shiny Lairon in global chat, and I missed it. But thankfully, the player posted it over in the shiny hunting chat in my Discord. And I see why you guys wanted me to see it so bad. Look at this. Firstly, it was caught by Xenox D-Ace. Congrats to him. But more importantly, not only is it 3 times 31... It's also, not only is it 3 times 31, not only is it jolly nature, it's also all of the stats placed in the right IVs. The one IV that it has, that's low, it's a 1 IV, is in Spatak. This is an insane wild caught shiny. That is fucking wild. Jolly nature, I love shiny Lairon and Aggron, by the way. Yeah, under odds, 16K encounters, 3 times 31. Jolly nature, beautiful catch from, let me credit his username once more. Xenox. One sec. Xenox D-Ace. Congratulations, dude. Insane shiny catch. All right, this is probably my last catch. The event should be ending. Yeah, it just turned 4 p.m. I actually wonder... Ooh, I wonder if this will even... Let's check the summary and see. Time is up. The event has ended. It was caught 3 seconds prior. But yeah, not worth submitting. I think I might submit something, but it's pretty close. I really just caught a lot of good breeders. I'm very happy with this event for me because I caught a ton of good breeders, which will be put to very good use on the Ironman account. But I don't think I got anything that puts me in the chance of winning, is what I'll say. But very good catch event. Good luck to everybody. Good luck to that, was it 176 that we had someone in chat catch? Good luck to everybody. Good luck, guys. A lot of Pokemon. Wow. A lot of mons caught. Over to this page a little bit. Alrighty, fellas, we have catch event results. Let's go ahead and jump into them. 4th place with 8 points. Not George Promise. 8 points is an incredibly low catch. Congratulations, dude. Next up, oh my goodness. I knew it would be a competitive event, but dude, I'm so sorry to the person who got 169 and didn't place. Usually a 169 would place top 3. Man, 172 is 3rd place. Namzi, congrats to you. That is a high competitive. We had someone in chat get a 176. I hope they won 1st place. Second place, he didn't even win. Oh, that's fucking cruel, dude. That is cruel. Also, they didn't say. We didn't see whether it's a rat or a bird. How do we do our Twitch gamba? We made a bet on whether the majority would be Pikachus or rats or birds. We know that this one, Chini caught a rat or a bird. His was a rat or a bird. What's 1st place? And then 1st place, 177. You got beat out by 1. Oh, dude, congrats to him, though. Congrats to Huggy. Great IGN. Wow. 177 1st place, 176 2nd. 3rd place, 172. 4th place, here's all the names as well. Huggy, Chini, Namzi, and Not George Promise. Congrats to everybody. Man, what an event. What an event. I need to see if we can find the other people to see if we can see what was the majority, whether it was Pikachus or rats and birds. Okay, Huggy is in chat. Huggy is in chat and says that his 1st place was a Pikachu. We made a Twitch bet, a Twitch gamba, on whether 1st through 3rd would be more Pikachus or rat/birds. I'm in rat/bird gang. But apparently it's tied right now. 1st place was a Pikachu. 2nd place was a rat, I believe. It depends. We need to be able to reach out. I'm trying to whisper the third place winner to see if we could get confirmation, because we didn't see in global chat whether the winners were, what type of species they got. I don't know if we'll be able to pay. We might have to dissolve this Twitch Gamba though. I'm really curious. I want to see if we can see. Congrats to everybody. This will be a funny arc to try to come to the conclusion of. We have a response. Thank you, Namzi, for the response. It was a Pidgey, man. I told people, I think on average, you want to catch as many Pokemon as possible and get those roll chances. Pidgey / Rat Gang 1. Thank you so much to Namzi. Congrats again. What a crazy third place catch. That's insane. Thank you to him for, or sorry, was it second? No, it was third place because it was 175. It's a 175 -3 because it's Pidgey. That's insane. Yeah, so we can pay out Rat / Bird, take the victory. And that's why it's important to do dice rolls for all these catch events and catch most mons if you can. Hell yeah, dude. You know what, fellas? I think that's what we're going to go ahead and call it for today, though. Just a short Saturday stream, a nice little 3-hour sesh with a fun catch event. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. There's a lot of things to catch up on. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Dislike if not. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos every single day. Follow me on Twitch for streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET, and sometimes on the weekends for catch events. I think I'll be streaming the catch event tomorrow as well, but no promises. Discord down below if you're interested in that. If you want to go above and beyond, support the content. YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal / Venmo donations really do allow me to be here and do stuff like this, as well as Factor. You can get yourself 50% off of some Factor using the link in the description, and it's the best way to support the stream. If you've ever wanted to support the stream, Factor once is the best way to do so. I greatly appreciate it, and I love the food. It's a great product. Check it out. Link is down below. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Peace, Reno. Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here, and I wanted to take this time to say thank you to everyone who goes above and beyond and supports my channel. Your names are all listed here. You make it possible for me to make helpful and mildly entertaining content for the game that I love and make it available for free for everyone to enjoy. Thank you so much for allowing me to even be here.